Too black, too strong. Too black, too strong.
I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to me.
Let's get ready to rumble!
What really go on in the mind like the police busting get down for this, but they can't constantly hit the G and I'm screaming money over.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Daniel Ty, D-Ty90, also known as the Student of Hip Hop, here today with another episode of the Falsetto Hip Hop Show. And here today we got a jam-packed show ready for y'all. Got some good music we're going to play for y'all, so we're going to get right into it. The first topic I want to talk about is my man Childish Gambino. If you know me, well, let me rephrase. Y'all motherfuckers, you know me, but you don't know me. So if you know me personally, which doesn't matter to y'all, so excuse me for fucking up. Let me just tell y'all, I am a major Donald Glover fan. Anything that Donald Glover puts his name on, touches, if he's in the room when you make that song, or if he's in the room when you make that show or movie, I want to see it. End of discussion. That's been me, and I'll be honest, that hasn't been my take my entire life, but or his entire career, but that's been my take since Awaken My Love, i.e. the album with Redbone on it. Now, not just because of Redbone, but all the shit, Atlanta, and he put the Migos on top. He had the Migos in the show Atlanta before he even hyped them up, and they got even bigger. This nigga's a genius, yo. I mean, you saw, and hopefully you saw him on SNL, and he killed that shit too. And he's gonna be in Star Wars. This is almost like our Will Smith again. Like how we had Will Smith, actor, movie star, rapper. We kind of got that in Childish Gambino. It's different. It's definitely different. Because Childish Gambino is shown to be much more on the end of creating and producing and from editing, directing his own stuff. Been on that end. I don't know how involved Will Smith has been in any of his productions, but when Will Smith is in a movie or a show, it's usually worth watching. So kind of got the same effect. Now, I want to applaud Childish Gambino for nothing else other than getting everybody to stop talking about Kanye West. I swear, when all that Kanye West news first started popping out, I did my best to just avoid it. I'm like, this shit's gonna die out in like a day. It's gonna fizzle. He's gonna disappear again, and he's gonna pop out with music a month later. That did not happen. We had that whole fiasco with the MAGA hat and the Charlemagne interview and all that other crazy bullshit with TMZ. But then, so it just kept going, just kept being perpetuated. And then the beam of light, Childish Gambino, comes out of the woods. This is America. Now, as soon as I heard the beat on that shit, I knew he was gonna give us some shit. When he broke out that African beat, and then he turned that African beat into a motherfucking trap beat. Ooh. And then the dancing, he turned them African dances into the whip and nay and shit. He took real culture and then parlayed that shit into what we do here. What the dominant society does in America, takes the cool shit, the cool culture, the organic, natural culture of people, and just turns it into some bullshit for people to sell, put on TV, dance, and make fun of. And there were so many layers to it that I'm upset. I didn't realize this. I didn't realize that. I knew this video was big because it hit like over 1 million views like in the first day. Like when I saw the video on YouTube, I think it probably had like 80,000 views already. So I was like, oh shit, I'm late. I felt I was late when I saw the video with 80,000 views on YouTube. I wish I would have taken a screenshot. But what I thought was earlier when I saw shit with 80,000 views. Now that shit's at like 100 mil right now. I swear it's at like 60 or 100 mil. I think it's 100 million views just on YouTube. I didn't count everything else either. It's just the video is just so amazing, and I love it because it's polarizing too, and I didn't realize how big the shit was till my mom asked me about it because somebody brought it up on CNN, and nobody ever mentions a rapper on CNN. Every now and then they bring up Jay-Z's name so they can talk shit about him. Like, oh, he used to sell drugs. Fuck out of here. It's the same thing with Cameron, or that was Bill O'Reilly on Fox. But still, he do the same shit. And then Kanye supports Trump, and then all of a sudden Kanye's on CNN. The fuck out of here. They're just perpetuating the fuckery. So I was like, oh, okay, this is really getting out to the people at that point. My mom knows about it. It's really gotten out to the people because she fucking doesn't watch shit but motherfucking CNN, MSNBC, and novelas. Maybe some reality TV shows, some Real Housewives of Atlanta or some shit. Likes to watch Tamar Braxton. I don't know what her show is that she has or whatever. Forgive me for that. I'm off topic. But I got kind of pissed when I was hearing people say, the people that we know, saying this video is related to black on black crime. Are you fucking kidding me? Did you literally just ignore everything in the video? Did you ignore that the guy that got killed and drug his body, and then they wrapped the gun in red towel? Like, that shit was normal. And that's the sad thing. The shit is normal. It's not normal, but it feels normal. It feels like, yeah, this is the shit that happens every day. Yeah, this shit comes on the news once a month, and we just gotta act sad, or we gotta talk about it, or we gotta bring it up, or it's kind of annoying. These are people's lives being taken. I mean, it showed in the video, nobody gave a fuck about him when he was dancing and rapping. As soon as he pulled out a little bit of weed, started knowing what was going on around him, started noticing all the crazy shit, he chased that nigga to the prison. You saw that's what it looked like. That's how they made that back part where he was running, the Young Thug was singing. Yeah, I was motherfucking prison, yo. Motherfucker, I saw articles about this shit on Business Insider. They were breaking the shit down. I'm like, this is fucking nuts. But I love it, though. I love it. I appreciate Childish Gambino doing this for us. We needed it. Nigga came through. I will cop your album, Gambino. I paid for the other one. I streamed it. But not only did I stream it, I paid for it. Whatever you put out next, I will pay for it. I want to see you at concert, but this shit's like $150. That shit is expensive as fuck, and I don't know if I could go, but I'll try. I'll try because I want to see Childish Gambino and I want to see Vince Staples as well. All right, so now on to the next topic. All right, now for our next topic, we'll be talking about Meek Mill. Now, you may have noticed that over the past couple weeks, each show, I haven't really spoke about Meek Mill a lot. I think I may have touched on the issue one time. And it's definitely a serious, to say it's a serious issue within our criminal justice system is an understatement. It's an understatement because this is how it's designed. Meek Mill, the saddest part about the Meek Mill situation is that there's a lot of other young black people going through the exact same thing, and they don't have the support system he has. He literally had millionaires, multiple of them on his side. Even with just Rick Ross alone. Even if you don't account anybody, I know in his interview he spoke about how many people actually were there for him, how many people actually spoke to him, how many people actually were regularly in touch with him, and I don't know if that's true or not, that he didn't necessarily have a large support of people regularly with him, mainly just a lot of people saying free Meek Mill, but not really doing anything to free Meek Mill. Valid point. I haven't done the research to decide if that's true or not. So for this case, I'll say it's true. But he did acknowledge Rick Ross. He did acknowledge the, I forget his exact name, but the team owner for the Philadelphia Eagles, who obviously is friends with other NFL team owners, one of them being Robert Kraft, that came and spoke with him as well. But he acknowledged him speaking with Colin Kaepernick, who's an idol of mine as well. But I am glad. I didn't realize he was going to go on such a big promo run, but I guess there's not really a better time to put out music other than when you first get out of prison. I mean, motherfucker's been doing it already, and he's hotter than fish grease out here in this shit. I mean, Gucci Mane put an album out when he got out of prison, and he's been hot ever since. I mean, I did not think I'd be seeing a Gucci Mane wedding on regular TV. No, I didn't watch it. But the fact that I saw clips from a Gucci Mane wedding on TV is phenomenal, quite frankly. But I'm glad to see Meek Mill speaking about the situation fairly candidly. I don't know if, I think he's being, when I see the interviews, he does still seem to be careful with the choice of words he uses. But as he's gone over time, he's can seem to continue to do that. Anyways, to be more careful with his words. One, though, I will say Meek Mill does not do good interviews. I've yet to sit through an entire Meek Mill interview. I just can't listen to him talk for that long. I'm sorry, I tried. Maybe, I'm sure it's much more fascinating and captivating in person, but with my headphones on while I'm working, I'll pass. But I'd rather play the music. I'd rather play the Meek Mill music. And I'm glad to see Meek Mill acknowledging the issue of the bail system. Because although we if we do talk, let me rephrase, we don't normally talk about this at all. If the subject happens to come up of black people getting killed, that happens from time to time. But I think a subject that is super important and doesn't come up is the bail system. Because the bail system is such a cash cow, quite frankly, to make money off people in some areas where, like New York, where you could be arrested a dozen times in a year, pay bail every single time. It's not about the same as giving out speeding tickets. It's just doing the same thing, but with people's freedom. And the shit really fucks me up. So it's something that needs to be addressed, and it really takes a community of people together to get that shit changed, whether it needs to be done through policy or whether it needs to be done through physical force. I believe that is a point that we need to get to soon. So that's just kind of my words on the Meek Mill situation. Glad he's out. Glad he's out. Glad he looks healthy. Looks healthy. Looks good. Looks like he's back into music. Look like when I say he looks good, looks like he's in good spirits. You know, he looks like he's got a positive outlook on life. And I'd say, if anything, of all the free Meek Mill stuff, I would think that that's probably what that provided the most, was a positive outlook that this is going to end. Because it was sort of a situation where he was trapped. He was stuck in this maze trying to wiggle out, where you get put on parole for 10 years for something you did when you were 18. And then if you fuck up during the 10 years of parole, they could give you another 10 years to tack on, so you still just get 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, and you're just constantly on your parole your whole life. And that could be some shit you didn't even do. That could just be someone that has a gun that's in the car with you. Maybe they didn't register this shit or something like that. Now you gotta pay for it. That shit is unreal, yo. Shit is unreal. Alright. Now it's time for the next topic. Spotify. This is a handful right here. This is some motherfucking shit. Give me a second. Let me sip this iced tea real quick. Alright, Spotify. Y'all know y'all done fucked up. Oh my god. I feel like I need a separate segment just for this. So let me give the background story. This was another story that I didn't want to bring up, but it's kept pressuring me, and now it's in the head. Now it's really in the headlines. So there was the hashtag of mute R. Kelly. So people were trying to get R. Kelly. People have been trying to get R. Kelly the fuck out of here for some shit they're not able to prove. I'll get into that later. So R. Kelly has been allegedly, he's been accused of multiple crimes. I won't deny that there's accusations of multiple crimes, sexual assault, things like that. No convictions, though. So, as of actual record, he's clean, relatively speaking. Just not necessarily clean in the public eyes, where public makes decisions with the evidence we're provided, which is usually very small. So Spotify removed his music, and they actually removed the music of XXXTentacion, who I've also spoken about, where I've been hesitant to even listen to his music in the first place because of the past he has. But I also got into how I think there may be, I don't know, I haven't gotten the whole story, and he hasn't been convicted of anything, so I shouldn't necessarily be judging from the rip. And consequently enough, some of the charges he has been accused of were dropped, because the girl that was accusing him recanted his statement, was like, yeah, we were kids and we was fucking around, because like they were like 16 at the time, where I think like they were fighting each other or some crazy shit like that. It was sort of like the NBA YoungBoy thing, where they're play fighting. I mean, if you asked me if I believe it was actually play fighting, probably not. No. But I mean, same thing with Chris Brown and Rihanna. They said they were play fighting. I've never play fought with a female where I'm hitting a female. I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not putting myself in that kind of position where somebody can say, yeah, your girl's got a bruise on her face. She said you did it. Yeah, I ain't doing that shit. But back to the story. So Spotify removed XXXTentacion and R. Kelly's music from their featured playlist. So the music this has been reiterated multiple times. the music is still on Spotify for you to listen to. So if you go to Spotify, you'll find both their musics. If you're listening to a playlist, like, say, Rap Caviar or Discover or something like that, you won't come across their music anymore. They created a new policy called the Hateful Conduct Policy. So what my takeaway from this is, one, they still want their motherfucking money. They're so disgusted with R. Kelly and XXXTentacion that they removed them from the playlist, from their playlist, so they won't recommend their music to anybody. But they're not so disgusted that they will just not carry the music at all. They could just stop playing R. Kelly music on Spotify. They could just stop playing XXXTentacion music on Spotify. They're public now, but they are their own entity. They don't need to play their music. They don't have to. So why are you still playing their music on Spotify but not in their playlist? Because you want their money. You're not so disgusted with them that you won't take their money. If there's somebody I know and I know they're a rapist, I seen it, or someone in my family, someone close to me told me, hey, that dude raped somebody, or that dude raped somebody we know or whatever. Not only might we need to run down on this nigga, that we'll probably need to run down on this nigga, but two, the last thing I'm going to do is accept a check from him. I may rob him, but I won't take a check from him. Best believe that shit. At that point, you got no morals. Spotify to me looks like they got less morals now than they did if they would have just left the shit there. And now they open a big old can of worms because now we're asking questions. The question is, well, what counts as hateful conduct? Because you got dozens of hit artists / bands accused of similar stuff, that have had the same charges put on them as X and R. Kelly. There was a list given by a New York Times writer. Please allow me to pull the list and go over some of them with you. Gene Simmons of, you may know him from Kiss, sexual battery. Red Hot Chili Peppers, sexual assault. David Bowie, rape. Backstreet Boys, Nick Carter, sexual assault. Ozzy Osbourne, domestic abuse. Seal, sexual battery. Michael Jackson, minor. Tekashi 6ix9ine. And this is just a few. I mean, there's a longer list of other people on here. Some people I don't know of. But there's other people that are hit people on here. Ace of Base. I've never heard of them. Founding member of neo-Nazis. But apparently that doesn't violate the hateful conduct policy. I don't know how you get much more fucking hateful than the fucking neo-Nazis. But hey, keep doing your thing, Spotify. Now, I'll be clear. I don't fuck with Spotify. I fuck with Tidal, to be perfectly honest with you. I've been using Tidal since 444 came out. If y'all want proof, I can give you proof, but I have not fucked with Spotify since then. I think I've listened to a couple podcasts on there just because Tidal hasn't really got the podcast game like that. I mean, they got some shit that they working on, like with Rap Radar, and that's cool. And some and their own little content they're putting together. But as far as just getting some podcasts uploaded on there, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting. But once they do, I can finally delete this motherfucking Spotify app. I don't even keep this app on my homepage anymore, nigga. I'm fucking with Tidal. And if I had to, yo, at this point, I'm going Apple. I'm going to Apple. So, with that said, that's really all I have to say about Spotify. They really opened themselves up to questions. I don't know that it'll affect. I don't know that people are going to put down the Spotify. It's sort of like when Monique asked people to put down the Netflix. It's so motherfucking cheap. We can't. But I'm hoping people will continue to not fuck with Spotify as more and maybe continue to go to Tidal. Because regardless of what you think of R. Kelly and XXXTentacion, I think we need to be honest with ourselves and be like, even if you believe it, there's other people we got to put under the furnace too. And Spotify needs to not take their motherfucking money. If they want to go ahead and remove them completely from Spotify, I'd rather them do that shit than do this bullshit about playlists. Fuck that. Okay. So thank y'all for bearing with me. I want to get into some music. So the music right now that I'm going to play for y'all is Stally. Stally used to be signed to Ross on MMG. Not MMG. MMG. The shit didn't really work out for him. Because MMG, when I believe when Stally was signed, he was signed to MMG and Atlantic. So whatever music he did, it had to not only get cleared by MMG, it had to get cleared by Atlantic, the same way as Wale's did when Wale had problems. Stally's got some dope ass music. It's definitely got more of like an underground sound on it, which lends to the reason why it didn't work out with MMG. But he's put out a 3-part series. Tell the Truth, Shame the Devil. This is off his volume 2. He just put out a video for it. The video is dope as fuck. I like it. The videos to help promote the volume 3 that should be coming out in about a month or two, I believe. I don't have the exact date off rip. But the video, it's him walks outside of his house. He's in the suburbs. He's got a little lawn chair sitting in like middle of the cul-de-sac, and some fine ass. Let me be clear. Some fine ass bitch. Excuse me, bitch. This fine ass female comes out, some short shorts and a white beater, and starts mowing the lawn. And the nigga's just rapping. He's got a little conscious on his shoulder, rapping him, telling him what to do. So y'all check it out. Check it out just for the female though. I don't know her name, but she's phenomenal. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and play this shit so y'all listen to, and I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Forgive me, y'all. I'm fucking up the audio. Bear with me. This is a new setup. Like I said before, this is a new format we got going. And I hope y'all appreciate the actual music involved with the show. Let me try it again.
Black metaphor. Yeah. Everywhere I go, I'm hearing whispers. I'm in the field where the snakes slither. Serpents who bitter worship the golden glitter. Napoleon thoughts, my mind is on something bigger. I'm usually in picture flossing that shit they worship. Dancing in puddles, show them that shit is worthless. My style is more rugged, these youngins dressed in purses. My style is so smooth, I don't rehearse these verses. Most rappers trash, fill every verse with curses. Or they copying style, trying to steal my verbiage. But couldn't walk a mile in these white Air Forces. Army, Navy SEALs trying to stop these forces. Force on 4Gs, chain gorgeous, same sauces. Slick Rick and Daddy Kane, countless amounts of money in my pocket. Still lossless, remain lawless. Don't do bosses, authority I don't fuck with. Jules truck it, shirt truck fit. Shot the Wheezy F, Carter 3, I still bump it. Ring clustered, your girl love it. Been quiet for a minute, but I'm still buzzing. That's still bussin'. If you tryna fuck with any nigga in my circle, don't let fame hurt you. I've been grinding for a minute, check the stain workbook. Started with a 16, then that same work group. I doubled up since address, been flipping since mattress. Had the world doing backflips. Black Chevelle with the black lips, the black automatic. Case a nigga was static, mob deep like I'm havoc. Promote peace, but I blast it. Good girl, don't do ratchet. I'm a sneaker fiend addict, navy blue or the black shit. And my wealth with my niggas, seen too many in caskets. Fifth floor down on Saks Fifth, buying Saint Laurent jackets. Dope boy strolling, you can have all that dab shit. I'd rather roll my dope, I don't fuck with that dab shit. Money brown paper bag it, weed green like a dragon. I be floating the Latin, chick dressed in all satin. Got a cabin in Aspen, Calabasas a mansion. Her engagement ring dancing, got on my man shit. My driveway a dealership while you and your man shit all bitter. 700 horses, these snakes slither. It's time I cut the grass to see clearer. Everywhere I go, I'm hearing whispers. I'm in the field where the snakes slither. Serpents who bitter worship the golden glitter. Napoleon thoughts, my mind is on something bigger. I'm usually in picture flossing that shit they worship. Dancing in puddles, show them that shit is worthless. My style is more rugged, these youngins dressed in purses. My style is so smooth, I don't rehearse these verses.
All right, y'all. I'm back. That was Stally. Once again, Stally. That song was called Serpent's Whisper off Tell the Truth, Shame the Devil, Volume 2. So make sure you go ahead and listen to that and listen to Volume 3 when that bitch comes out too. That shit's about to be hot than a motherfucker. So then we have all 3 parts of the series. Now, it's now time for knocking boots. There were some boots knocking here, but less than ideal situations for all the people involved. So the first subject is Fabolous. Now, the Fabolous situation has been kind of quiet lately. Partially because there's not much to report on the situation. From everything that I've read and I've gathered, the timeline is the shit that we saw with the video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Where Fab's being held back by his security guard, and then he gets pissed at the dad because the dad went into his house, went into Fabulous's house, started touching shit, started taking his guns, and I'd be mad as fuck too because you taking my shit that's supposed to protect me and my family. So yeah, we're gonna have a motherfucking problem. So I'm not even mad at Fabolous for that. But Fabolous did turn himself in, like many other celebrities do when accused of things or charged with things, turned himself in for charges of assault. I don't think it was battery, but assault. Punched his girlfriend or / baby mama like 5 or 6 times. Fucked up her teeth. I haven't seen any pictures, and I don't think anybody's seen any pictures that would lend us as far as proof. And not that we want to assume that these reports are necessarily false, and we don't want to assume that, but we haven't received other documentation supporting this yet, so we'll still wait and see how it turns out. But Fabolous went on Instagram and said this in the caption of his photo of him and his girlfriend slash baby mama Emily B and his kids. And it says, quote, "Happy Mother's Day to the woman who has given me the best gift I could ever receive, family. I love you, Emily B. P.S. These selfies are a courtesy of Emily, and I had to wait till she sent them to me soon. Okay, had to wait till she sent them to me." So that was about it, but it was good to see him acknowledge that on Mother's Day. And part of the situation that makes me wonder, because now it looks like particularly in hip hop we're seeing relationships stay together despite some pretty, I don't want to say crazy, but despite some undesirable circumstances. So obviously the biggest one was Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce. Now, as we all know, Beyonce she doesn't need to stay with Jay-Z at all. Not only does she have plenty of money, and not only is she Beyonce and not gonna have a problem finding another guy, chose to maintain her relationship, stay together. So with this Fabolous one, they've been seen together multiple times. I believe they were seen together at Coachella. So if we continue with this narrative that they are together because they may be, this again, to say this is an undesirable circumstance is an understatement, considering she got beat up, quite frankly. Just let me be frank with the situation. Considering she got beat up, it's crazy that they're still, and let me phrase, I'm sorry, I wrote it back up. I don't want to use the term crazy. Although I love to judge people, when it comes to relationships, we all have different things that we've dealt with in our lives that would lend us to make the decisions that we do when we're in relationships. And that's what causes our decision making to change. So I do wonder what's caused. I do wonder how. Forgive me. I'm trying to be a little more careful with my words because I don't want to offend any woman, especially anybody that's dealt with this violent situation like that, because it's not obviously not something behavior I approve of at all. Cheating is whatever, but actual physical violence is a whole different story. And like we saw with R. Kelly and XXXTentacion, we're in a time period where the public can judge your fate without the actual justice system doing with it. And even if we assume that the justice system acts fairly, because it doesn't, but if we chose it did, the public is dictating the outcome of a lot of people's lives without any evidence or very little evidence. Whatever's in the news, whatever we see, whatever we choose to see, whatever we choose to read. And it is unfortunate to see it like that, but I will say, as an entertainer, people want to be entertained. They want to be entertained the way they want to. Whether that's right or wrong, I won't be the judge of, but a lot of times it is wrong. We got some bullshit reasons for not liking people. But I hope it works out. I hope that if they stay together, he's comfortable, she's comfortable. And if they're not, then I hope they break up. Because two people shouldn't be in a relationship and both aren't comfortable with the situation. And from this post, looks like he is. We just haven't gotten a clear confirmation as to whether Emily is. So I hope that shit works out for him. Next one, oh my God. Motherfucking Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart got lined up by his homeboy. Eight figures. I don't know the exact number. When your best friend tries to juice you for $5, $8, $10 million, this shit is nuts out here, yo. The friend recorded him cheating, having sex with another woman, and then extorted him for it. Mind you, Kevin Hart has kept money in this man's pocket. Because he's worked with Kevin for years. And I don't know at what point the envy got so much that he needed. I don't know if he needed the money. And that's the sad part. I'm sure if this guy would have went to Kevin, obviously he couldn't have gone to Kevin and been like, hey, I need a couple mil. But I'm sure he went to Kevin and said, hey, I need 10,000, 15, 20,000 to get through whatever I'm getting through. If Kevin Hart is genuine in all these interviews and in this book and shit, then I believe that he would have given it to him. Who knows? Maybe Kevin Hart's an asshole. But even if he is an asshole, you can't do this shit. I'm sorry. I got people that I know that are assholes. Like, I don't like them one bit, but I don't know if I would go this far. Because part of the issue is Kevin Hart's not a regular guy. It's not like if I get extorted or the nigga that works at Jack in the Box gets extorted. Nah. If you extort me, it's only going to affect whoever I don't want the information to go to. If it happens to be my girlfriend or wife, it only affects her. If I have kids, then sure, it'll affect them. But it's a very small circle. It's a very limited number of people. It's probably never going to be more than 4 or 5. When it's someone like Kevin Hart and you do this shit and his perception gets out and now it's out to the masses, it's out to millions, billions of people, and now he's got to go out and do damage control on that shit. He's got to put out an Instagram video where he's damn near crying. Do some fuck shit, yo. You can't be doing that to your mans. And I think this is just a wake-up call for all of us. All of us, we got to be careful who we working with. Quite frankly, whether it's family, whether it's your best friend, whether it's your best friend for life, just count the money twice. Count the money twice. Have a second control. That's how I've worked at banks for multiple years, and the best way to make sure that a motherfucker ain't sneaking shit, two people watching. You count it, then I count it. You check it, then I check it. You check it, somebody else checks it. Can't put too much on one guy. Now, obviously, I don't know how the fuck this guy went about planting the camera. I don't know if he planted the camera. I don't know if he was chilling in the room recording and was like, I'm going to record y'all, or what the fuck went down. But Kevin clearly let his guard down. which happens. We all get caught slipping. That's not even a knock or an insult to them. We all just get caught slipping sometimes. But we got to do our best to, I don't want to say keep people at a distance, but know where people stand. And obviously he didn't know where this cat stood with him before. He didn't know this cat was envious. He didn't know this cat was chilling in the woods, bowling on a Thursday night by himself. They got one to try to get this Kevin Hart money. You never really got a way to know about that. But all you can do necessarily is have your checks and balances. And if he does have checks and balances, which I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin's got checks and balances, you always got to make sure the shit is done right. But with that said, we're going to get into the story. My story, #BugZips, about how I had the worst service of my life. I say shit was bad. Shit was bad, yo. But before we do that, we're about to get into one of my favorite rappers right now. One of my favorite young artists in the game, Mozzie. If you don't know Mozzie, you about to hear some shit right now. I love the way he comes in on songs. His flow is just nasty. When he raps, his voice, he's got a real specific sound that when you hear him, you know exactly who the fuck it is. So this is off of Mozzie's EP he put out a couple months ago. I know it's a little late, but there wasn't necessarily a lot of music put out. There was some garbage put out. T Grizzly. Actually, I'm gonna try and give the T Grizzly another listen, and if I like it, I'll play some music from it next week. If the shit's garbage, you're not gonna hear me say T Grizzly's name ever again. But this is Mozzie and Raven Justice. No choice. I'll drop it in now.
You don't wanna live like this, let it sink in. Another premature body drop before the weekend. I used to bag up pieces beyond decent. They say the customer's right, never mistreat them. Ain't he searching for a vein with that needle? When you carry the monkeys, you gotta feed them. I suffer from similar inner demons. Yeah, I be sipping for insignificant reasons. When you told me you love me, I ain't believe it. But when you show me you love me, you'll receive it. Do it for the killers sitting down for them seasons. It be hard to say no, so they converting the leeches. Long as you are earning your peaches. Classification is top rank, never heard of impeachment. Long as you are earning your peaches. Classification is top rank, never heard of impeachment.
Living in the field, this is how it is. Gotta live with shit I did. When I die, I hope I miss. I ain't had no choice. I ain't had no choice. I ain't had no choice. I ain't had no choice.
They label us killers and all mine. Cause I kill anybody, it come to minds. The driver like how I get all this time. You had an active role in the commission of a crime. Yeah, it's crazy you niggas don't see the signs. Bruh told on blood cause he ain't wanna do life. I send my condolences in the kite. You know the people gon' hang him and they ain't right. Stare at my daughters and see the light. Went and got him an M, I promised to see it twice. Y'all remember when Mozzie was on the hype? Mozzie was dead broke, he was stripping shit on sight. My brother died, they told me it'd be alright. I was back in 05 on Doodles, them niggas lied. Got me relapsing and getting high. This shit got me relapsing and getting high.
Living in the field, this is how it is. Gotta live with shit I did. When I die, I hope I miss. I ain't had no choice. 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 I
All right. Now that was Mozzie. No Choice with Raven Justice. Sorry, I just blanked on the song for a sec. Mozzie, No Choice with Raven Justice. That shit is hard as fuck. Don't sleep on Mozzie. Don't sleep on Mozzie. I believe he's got let me rephrase. I think it's probably got an album coming out soon. He hasn't said specifically, but he for sure has got some shit coming out soon. And the shit's about to be a banger. You know how I know the shit's about to be a banger? Because this EP was a banger. His album before this was a banger. And his album before that one was a banger. But that ain't what I'm about to talk about. What I'm talking about is how me and my dad got the worst service in my motherfucking life. So, if you live in the Phoenix area, you heard of Zips. I don't know if I believe they're outside of Phoenix too. I think they're maybe in the Southwest area. But if you in Phoenix, you for sure heard of Zips. It's a sports bar. It's nothing special sports bar. It's probably about the equivalent of like a smaller scale Buffalo Wild Wings, a little bit less commercial, but they got like hella TVs there. The food is decent. Doesn't make me feel as shitty as Buffalo Wild Wings. So I said, oh, fuck it, I'll usually go. And I usually ain't got no problems there. But this time, I came in to go watch the Rockets Pelicans game. The little moist nigga at the hostess said, "Hey, I got you," and they had it on the big TV, like the one where they put together like 6 or 9 TVs to make one big TV. They put me in a booth, and me and my dad are bigger dudes, so we don't always want to sit in the booth. I said, "Fuck it," I sat there. My dad gets there like, "Hey nigga, why the fuck you get a booth? Why don't you get a table?" I said, "All right, shit, my bad." So I asked the waitress, said, "Hey, can we switch that table that's literally right next to the booth? Like you could damn near touch the table from the booth. That's how close it is." So it definitely was in her section. It wasn't like we asked to be moved out of her section, and it wasn't like they couldn't sit nobody there later. But fuck it, she felt some type of way. But we did order appetizers. I ordered some not nachos. I ordered some chips, some salsa, and some guac. Reasonable order, right? So we get the food a little bit. It's fine, no problems. We asked for extra salsa. We asked for extra salsa. She doesn't. 5 minutes go by, still no salsa. So at that point, we're like, okay, she probably forgot, right? Waitresses forget shit sometimes. That happens. I'm not mad if you forget. Well, I mean, I don't like that you forget shit. But that's one thing. What she did was some other shit. So she brought the salsa, even though we finished eating the chips. So we finished eating the chips. The bag of chips is empty. It's a basket. It's a plastic basket. And where the chips are in, they're gone. We even put the little bowls that had the salsa and the guacamole, we put it in the empty basket so that she could take it away. She walks over to us, sets the extra cup of salsa that we asked for on the table, stared at the empty basket of chips, giggled, and then walked away. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? But wait, it gets worse. Now, me and my dad have both been there before. So, and typically when we go, we order chicken wings. I get medium, he gets hot. We've had them before, multiple times, no problems. This time, not only we ordered the chicken wings, we actually ordered the chicken wings before we had that whole fiasco of the fucking chips, but so they were already ordered. So we probably didn't get chicken wings for at least 20, 25 minutes. At least a full quarter of basketball went by before we got our chicken wings. But the chicken was hot, so I didn't say nothing. It'd be one thing if it was 20 minutes and you brought me cold chicken wings, because then I know the shit was sitting there, but they were hot. So that was whatever. The hot chicken wings were so goddamn hot. He didn't finish the basket because it was his. He couldn't finish it. So over half a dozen wings uneaten. I said, you know what? Quit being a bitch. Let me try. So I ate one. I took a bite. I was like, and I won't lie, I dipped the whole wing, damn near the whole wing in ranch. So I got a nice, cool ranch to go with it. I took a bite. I was like, oh, this is cool. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. About 15 seconds later, that shit hit the middle of my tongue. I sucked down probably no less than a quart of iced tea and ate all the ice in the drink and was still sitting there like for probably like another 5 minutes. And I won't lie, I'm a wimp, but that was some bad shit. So the waitress came back, said, oh, do you want a box for these? I said, no. I said, we asked for hot. You gave us extra hot. I said, we can't even eat these. They're so hot. She stared at me. Kid you not, she stared at me. Said, okay. Then walked away. Like I was fucking crazy. Then comes back. I didn't say anything. What I told you right now is what I told the bitch. So she goes back and says, oh, I talked to my manager and I talked to the chef and we can't take it off your bill. And we measured the seasonings in the back and they were hot, not extra hot. How the fuck did you measure the seasoning in the back? That's the most bullshit fucking lazy ass fucking excuse. And I said, you know what? I didn't even ask you to take it off the bill. I was just telling you y'all fucked up. I didn't say fucked up. I said I was letting you know you guys messed up. And she said, oh. And then laughed. And then said, oh. And then walked away. This bitch was fucking crazy, y'all. Mind you, the whole time we're there, I'm there for an entire game. I come in 2 minutes in the game. So there's 10 minutes of the first quarter, 12 of the second, 12 of the third, 12 of the fourth. That's 46 minutes, not including no timeouts, no halftime, no nothing. Over that entire game, we got 2 refills. I've been to the same place before. I got 2 refills in 1 quarter, let alone 2 refills in a whole game. That shit was fucking crazy. So fuck that bitch. I didn't get her name. Fuck Zips. If y'all hearing this, don't go to none of them. This happened to be the one in Phoenix on Bethany Home, but fuck all of them, nigga. I'm going to Native. Fuck it, I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings. I haven't been to Hooters since high school. I might even run up in the motherfucking Hooters. Give me some motherfucking Daytona breaded wings. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Hashtag fuck Zips. But that's all for me today. This is your boy, Daniel Ty, D-Ty90, also known as the Millennial Hip Hop Head. And I'm out with y'all for another episode of the Falsetto Hip Hop Show. Thank you.